Testing, 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me on the North American Bear Center observation deck up there? Yes? All right, thank you. I'd like to welcome our worldwide listeners today. We are broadcasting here from the North American Bear Center in Ely, Minnesota. Skies, few fluffy clouds, no wind, and about 73, 74 degrees. It's really a very nice day out here today. We did have some serious rain yesterday for a while, so the ground is really quite wet and damp yet, and in the woods it is also pretty wet. I want to welcome all you worldwide visitors as well as those of you here at the North American Bear Center to our 11 o'clock bear enrichment. We have both bears and humans in the bear enclosure right at the moment. We have Ted Bear, who is cruising for some nuts right now that our intern is throwing out. And we also have Honey Bear, our cinnamon phase black bear, on the far end of the pond, not a zoo, and they have choices. Our bears have choices as to where they want to be in the 2.5 acres, and they all have their favorite locations. One of the locations that is a favorite to all of them when it gets really warm is our pond. Black bears are exceptional swimmers and use a dunk in the pond or in a river or a lake as a place to cool off when it gets really warm and in the warm summer sun. As I've been talking here right now, it's about 73 degrees. Ted's coat, Ted the black bear right in front here. The edge of his coat with his guard hairs could easily be right about less than 5 minutes in the sun. That can easily happen. Ted is our 17-year-old male. He's the largest of our 4 bears here. And I call him really just gentle Ted. He's got a very sweet disposition, loves food. He also loves humans, which is fine if he's a captive bear. That wouldn't work real well out in the wild. But Ted's really got a disposition, and who's right over here by what we call the rock den. She's cruising here by the rock den. She's an 18-year-old female. She's a cinnamon phase black bear. And I got asked last week if she's going to ever turn black. Well, she's not. It's just a color that black bears can be. It's one of about five different colors a black bear can be. She's a beautiful black bear. She has quite a light muzzle up to her. And for those of you on the deck here at the North American Bear Center, you can see right down her spine that a lot of her fur is lighter in color. Well, that's her undercoat that she will be shedding here in the next couple months. If you just noticed, there was just a little interaction between Ted and Honey here at the moment. Honey wanted to actually move down toward where Ted is, but she really is more of a solitary bear and prefers her space. And Ted didn't want to move because he saw some other trees down there. So she's taking a different route. And I think she's going to go around the pond is my guess. Staff members spread a variety of food out. Beside nuts, there was some apples and some oranges that were spread out around. We call that a spread or a buffet. In human terms, you'd probably call it a buffet. The is actually something to eat, and that's what we really try to mimic here at the North American Bear Center. As I said, they have choices here in the 2.5 acres. They each have some favorite areas that they prefer to be in for both day beds and for just hanging out. One of the favorite places is actually of the pond. If she goes on the other side of the pond, she'll go toward the left into the deep woods where it's all shade. And she's got a couple really neat day beds back there under a bunch of balsam trees that pretty much no matter what time of the day it is, it's going to be shady. Lucky, he's a bear that's not out right now, but Lucky has got an area that he goes way in the back toward the right. And he's got a group of day beds back there that he enjoys as well. I see Honey cruising around the pond here. She is probably going to eventually end up in the area of what we call the window den, that window den. And that's really where Honey hibernated last winter. She entered that den on December 1st, and she came out for the first walk, for a little bit anyhow, on March 10th. Didn't get very far on March 10 because we had about 3 feet of snow, but she attempted to make her way out a little bit, realized she had 3 feet of snow and decided she wasn't going to plow through it. For the PTZ drive, if you would focus on the clover patch. Honey was cruising the clover patch and decided she's not going to stay there. She's going to actually drink from the creek. I thought she was going to do something that Ted did last week. He took a bath in the creek. To the far left, as I said, there is a clover patch. It's an area where we planted clover last year, and it really came up very, very well. Ted and Lucky, two of our bears, really enjoy that clover patch. And now I'm really interested in what Honey's going to do. She's walking back up there again. White clover specifically is a favorite of black bears. It's a favorite food. And I'm wondering if she actually is going to park up there and maybe eat a little clover. Haven't seen her do that lately. That's not saying she hasn't, but I just haven't seen her do that lately. Today, right now, it's really past breakfast time for the bears. The bears have already had what we call breakfast, and their breakfast consisted of some romaine, lettuce, some carrots, apple, raw egg was their breakfast, and a few nuts. I get asked a lot the question of, well, how come they're not eating, how come we didn't throw out some red meat for them? You don't see any red meat here at the Bear Center. We don't give them red meat, and we don't give them red meat for a reason. They're not carnivores, they're actually omnivores. Only about 10% of their entire diet is protein, and the bears here get their protein from raw egg, nuts, and we do give them some tuna fish from a can, just like you would buy in the grocery store, as sources of protein. But if I were to put out some red meat there, they more than likely wouldn't even touch it. They mostly eat fruits and berries. A variety of berries here in the area are service berries, raspberries, blueberries, choke cherries, various berries that are here up in this area that they will eat. In the next week or so, you should actually start seeing ant colonies come up. And ant colonies are a favorite of black bears. They can be found in rotten logs or under big rocks where they just simply move the rock. It's not so much the ant that they want, but they want the ant larvae. And the same with beehives. Beehive is a favorite. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that black bears like honey. Well, black bears really don't care for honey so much as they care for the immature bee that is in the beehive. They may get some honey in an attempt to get the immature bees, but it's not the honey that they're actually after. That's one of those. Well, if you got between a mother black bear and her 2 cubs, you're more than likely not in danger. Probably the mother is going to stay there until mom tells them to come down. If you ever are in the vicinity of a mother and her 2 cubs, black specific wounded. We are open today. Yeah, 9 to 7, and those of you that are here at the Bear Center today are welcome to be here as long as you'd like, and if you get hungry for lunch or whatever, that means today with your little pink sticker that you got at your admissions, you can come and go as many times as you'd like all day long. That works very well for small children who sometimes need a variety of activities throughout the day to keep them engaged. We know that you have many opportunities here in the Ely area for your entertainment and your learning experiences. We're happy that you have picked the North American Bear Center to visit here today. Another place of interest that you might find interesting is the International Wolf Center, which is at the opposite end of town, approximately 1 mile east of the Ely downtown area. And they're a fabulous organization, and you probably get to see a wolf pack while you're there. Again, I want to thank you all for participating. Some daily updates that also mention the 10 lucky honey and holly, as well as the research bears that are being studied in the Ely Tower area. I would ask you to go to a website called www.bearstudy.org. That's called www.bearstudy.org. On the home page, down at the bottom, you can sign up for daily updates to learn about what Ted Lucky and Honey are doing, and Holly, but also about the study and research that is currently being conducted in the Ely Tower area with wild research bears. If you want to know a little bit about the researchers, we have 2 fabulous BBC documentaries that play in the created right here in the Ely area in 2010, and the other one called The 3 Little Bears, which is a story of a mother bear and her 3 cubs and their first year of life with their mother and how they spend that first year. That most recent documentary was filmed here in the Ely area in 2012. They are both 1 hour long, without commercial, and it's probably one of the best 1 hours you could spend to learn about so many myths and misperceptions about black bears that are just really scientifically unproven. I want to thank you again for being here at the North American Bear Center today, and I want to thank our worldwide listeners, as well as those volunteers that make this type of broadcast happen. Those volunteers volunteer their time and effort to make this young and old alike about the real life of black bears here in the North Woods. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you again later today. Thank you.